everybody. We've got just about 3 minutes till we get started. Welcome back to my place. The vacuum cleaner, which is essential, will be here soon. All right. If you're here early, pardon me, please feel free to grab any props that you have. I'm still not going to do a class that involves a lot of props. I just want you to be as comfortable as you are. Definitely think about having a block. I have one right here to help for some of the seated postures. If you don't have a block and you have a blanket or a big towel that you can fold up or roll up, great. And if you don't have that, that's also absolutely fine. We got 2 more minutes. I'm gonna leave the room for a second and allow you to imagine that you have a bird. Fred usually gets real chatty when I leave the room. Yep, most of her impressions are of me. That was the sound of my sneeze. She calls the dog in my name. She calls me in my dad's name. It's very convincing. 1 minute till we get started. So does anyone else have a bird? If so, I'd love to hear about how that happened. If you haven't met Fred before, she's my 28-year-old sister. And my dad got her when I was 11. I'm 39. Just in case you don't want to do math. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much for coming today, you guys. Let's go ahead and get started. Coming back towards our mats. We're going to start in a seated position today. Hi everyone, I'm Jessica. Welcome to your afternoon mind-body option. So today we're going to focus a little bit on foundation and creating space within our body. So thankful for you guys joining me. If you have a block or a towel or something that you would like to sit on, feel free to place that underneath of your seat, just to allow those knees to fall a little heavier down towards the floor. Hopefully you're wearing something comfy. If not, feel free to go grab something delightful for yourself. Don't you waste all that food. And while you guys start to come into your breath, I'm just going to give the bird a nut so that she will be a good bird. Yep. So you're just grounding those sit bones down through the floor, whatever that means for you today. Starting to focus on your breath. Just being thankful. We're slowly going to work to stack our bodies. You might want to start with your chin tucked towards your chest. Slowly using your breath. Relaxing and releasing, and as you're ready, just gently begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Still grounding those sit bones into the floor, pulling the belly in. Relaxing those shoulders away from your ears and elbows down towards the floor. Find a nice long exhale out through your mouth. Slow, deep breath in. Feel free to close your eyes. Really trust yourself here. And just do the best that you can, making the motions I describe. Just sitting here nicely, tall, lengthening through the crown of your head. Grounding through your sit bones. Relax your face, relax your jaw. If someone saw you, you should look happy. Happy to be here for yourself. So take that tension out of your eyes, your mouth. Just continue to deepen your breath. Give yourself permission to just relax and enjoy being in this moment. It's so important right now to just take a little time and space for your mental health. Sometimes we can feel so guilty for just taking that us time, knowing about your to-do list, but everything else will still be there. You can't pour from an empty cup. So thank you for filling your cup. Couple more moments right here. Just noticing your body today. Being in this moment, on whatever you're sitting on. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. You're going to draw your chin towards your chest. Check in with your neck. Whichever side feels most comfortable for you. Starting to draw some circles with the nose. You might notice a lot of crunchiness, cracking. Start to change the direction of the circles with your nose. Still pulling those shoulders away from your ears. Finding that contraction of your abdominal core. Feel free to stop at any points that you need an extra stretch in. Just listening to your body. Making the most of your breath. Both here on the mat and also throughout the rest of your day. Focus on relaxed breathing. Can help make any task feel a little bit more doable. Couple more times around. Whichever direction feels good for you. And then go ahead, bring your head back to center. Inhale, draw your shoulders all the way up towards your earlobes. Take a deep breath. Exhale, relax them all the way down. 2 more like that. Inhale, shoulders up. Stomach sucked in, sit bones grounded, squeezing right higher, left higher. Exhale, pull them back. Draw them down. 1 more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. Nice work. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest in Namaskar. Inhale, lifting the sternum towards the thumbs. Exhale, elbows heavy. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, open your mouth. Nice and loud. 1 more time. Inhale. Find that lift of your chest. Exhale. Relax your hands down on the floor. Go ahead, keep your right hand fingertips down on the floor. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach through those left hand fingertips, still grounding your sit bone into the floor. Maybe taking a bend of that right elbow. Setting a little bit more of that reach, warming your body up for today. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, stretch up, stomach sucked in, find your length and switch. This time, left hand fingertips come down towards the floor. Right hand reaches up and over. You're still really working to connect with your body and your breath. So inhale, find your length. Exhale, maybe come a little bit deeper. Feel free to bend that elbow. Nice work. Just a couple more breaths, a couple more reaches right here. Take another deep inhale. Stretch up. Exhale, rain those fingertips down towards the floor. Nice work. Great. Let's go ahead, come off of our sit bones. We're going to come up into all four. in tabletop. Okay. So, keeping those hands, palms right underneath of your shoulders and your hips stacked on top of your knees. Spread your fingertips out nice and wide like a starfish. Let's just start to make some circles with our hips. So your shoulders are coming away from your fingertips and then coming forward. Think about bringing your hips closer towards your heels. Just a couple more times around in this direction. Don't feel like you have to be too rigid here. There's no rules. We're having fun. It's practice. Change the direction of your circles. Make sure you're still using that breath. Ooh, pressing into those hands, palms. Finding some activation of your back, some extra rounding. Just finding what feels good for you today. All right, let's start to get those shoulders involved. A little looping of those shoulders, chest coming down towards the mat. Couple more times in this direction. And then go ahead, change the direction. Just dropping one shoulder down and then picking the other shoulder up. Just have some fun, making some shapes. Finding a little movement, breath, synchronizing. Awesome. Go ahead, come back into your neutral tabletop. Spread those fingertips up nice and wide. Let's go for some traditional cat-cow. So tucking your chin towards your chest, looking towards your knees, towards your belly button. Keeping those shoulders pulled away from your ears. Your belly comes down towards the floor. Extra arching of your back. Lift your chin away from your chest. Change your breath as you change your posture. Coming into cow, think about your heart radiating forward. A nice Care Bear stare. And then the angriest Halloween cat you can be. Ooh, I heard something crack. One more time. Chin away from chest, stretch your heart forward. And then we're just gonna exhale our hips back towards our heels, coming into child's pose. You might even want to shake your hips a little bit right and left right here. Just taking a moment to ground down to the earth below us. So much contact. Feel free to tuck your chin towards your chest. Let your head hang heavy down towards the floor. Maybe your biceps are just by your ears. Just a couple more breaths right here. Inhale, come on back up to tabletop. I'm just going to stretch it out once more with cat-cow. Just finding what feels good for you. Make sure you walk those hands back underneath of your shoulders. Great. We're going to do some kind of child's pose, reverse push-ups, I guess we can say. So you're going to exhale your hips back towards your heels, press your hands into the floor. Maybe find a little extra rounding here, chin to your chest. And then inhale, just pull yourself forward and come right into cow. Chin away from your chest, find that stretch of your belly. Exhale, send your hips back towards your heels. Chin can tuck towards your chest, just like it would for cat. Pressing your hands, palms into the floor, feel that stretch through your shoulder blades. And then inhale, come on forward, shoulders away from your ears, knees pressed, grounded into the floor, lift the chin, send the heart forward. 2 more times, send your hips back. Tucking of the chin, inhale, come forward. Send your hips back. Inhale, come forward. One more time, we're going to send our hips back. This time you're going to take a bend of your elbows. So go ahead, bring your fingertips. You can interlace them or maybe just touch your fingers on the back of your shoulders. My fingers are pointing down towards my hips. My elbows are stretching forward. I'm pressing the back of my elbows into the mat. And I just feel the stretch a little bit more towards my mid back.
You can even interlace your fingers, maybe tuck your head, walk your fingers a little further down your back. And on your next exhale, slowly, gently release. Pull yourself back up to tabletop. Get those shoulders away from your ears. Just being supported by the mat below you. Nice. This time we're going to just come forward. Shoulders come forward to fingertips. And then come right back into your tabletop. Exhale, shoulders forward. Inhale, come back. I know this can be a lot of pressure on the wrist. Just really waking up that body. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, come back. One more time. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Go ahead, bring those knees together. And we're just going to take a seat right here on our feet. Next up, we're going to go for some toe stand. So you're actually going to bring your hands back down towards the mat. Go ahead, tuck those toes under. Depending on how tight your body feels, as we walk our hands back, you're going to feel a big stretch on those toes. So you might need to keep your hands down on the mat. You might be able to get your hands onto your thighs. You might be able to even sit yourself all the way up as you start to apply some pressure. Stretching the back of those toes, relax those shoulders away from your ears. We've got 4 mindful breaths right here. Keep opening that chest, pulling shoulder blades together. Elbows can even draw towards the wall behind you. Find one spot, focus your eyes, relax your mind, stick with it. You just got one more breath. Nice work. Go ahead, bring your hands back to the mat if they were by your lap. Walk back out into tabletop, untuck those toes, and go ahead, tap the back of them onto the mat. Great. Now we're going to tuck those toes under again. We're just going to practice like a modified down dog. We're not going to hang out there for too long though. So tucking those toes under, I want you to inhale. And as if I'm lifting your hips up behind you, send those hips up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, just go ahead and bring those knees back down towards the mat. Inhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling. You might need to open your feet a little bit wider. And exhale, bring those knees back down towards the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, up towards the ceiling. Exhale, down to the mat. Last one. Inhale, up to the ceiling. Exhale, down to the mat. Nice work. Go ahead, bring those big toes together. Send your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands, palms forward. Taking another moment right here in child's pose. Just 2 more breaths. Great. On your next exhale, pull yourself back up. Let's just get a nice little stretch of the wrists. So right now your wrists are fingertips facing forward. Go ahead, turn your wrists around so that your fingers are pointing towards your knees. And just start to apply a little bit of pressure into your palms, still working to pull the shoulders away from your ears. Your chest may even come forward a little like we had in cat-cow. The more you bring your hips back towards your heels, the deeper you're going to feel the stretch in the wrists and the forearms. And exhale, come on back up. Maybe shake your wrists out a little bit. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your hands, palms over. So fingertips are facing towards your knees, back of your hands. Down on the mat, really press into that spot where your wrist, the back of your wrist meets your arms. Couple breaths right here. Awesome release. Feel free to shake it out. Let's do a little, get that core activated. We're going to get a nice shoulder stretch in a second. Make sure you have some space for yourself. I'm just going to twist And we're gonna come into bird dog next. So keeping your right knee and your left hand down on the floor. Go ahead, extend your right arm out in front of you. Extend your left leg behind you. Make some circles with your ankle, with your wrist in one direction. And go ahead, change the direction of the circles, equally grounding through the 2 points that you still have on the mat, keeping that stomach sucked in. Back is engaged, so shoulders are away from ears. You're creating as much length as you can. And exhale, release that right hand, left knee down on the mat. Other side, send your right leg behind you, point through your toe, send your left leg out in front of you. I try to mirror you guys, but it gets so confusing to speak in opposites of right and left. Go ahead, change direction of your circles with your wrists and with your ankles. Pull those shoulders away from your ears, suck your stomach in, engage your back again. As long as you're moving, like honestly, whatever, have fun. Go ahead, release that left hand, right knee back down towards the floor. You're gonna take a little twist right here, keeping your hands palms on the floor. I want you to just look over your right shoulder. Start to bring that stretch back into our neck. We're gonna do something fun in a minute, where you're gonna do your best. Always good enough. Go ahead, exhale back towards the center. Shake your hips out if you need to. Always feels good. Oh. Come back into the stillness, press your hands, palms into the mat, suck your stomach in and turn and twist over your left shoulder. Just find one spot, focus your eyes, relax your mind. One more deep inhale and exhale back towards the center. All right, getting a little bit deeper now. We're gonna keep our left hand down on the mat, send your right hand back behind you. So your palm is facing towards the opposite wall. Your thumb is up towards the ceiling and turn once again. Twist towards that right shoulder. Take another deep inhale. And on your exhale, release, right hand comes back down towards the mat, ground it, and then send your left hand behind you, pinkies close by your hips, thumbs facing up towards the ceiling. Stretch those fingertips in the direction of your toes and turn your chin towards your left shoulder. You still have that stomach sucked in. Make sure your shoulders don't creep up towards your ears. You're still finding your lifted length as engaged, as light as possible. One more deep inhale. And exhale, send that left hand down towards the mat. All right, we're gonna do a big shoulder stretch and then we're gonna try something fun. So threading the needle right here, keep your left hand down on the mat. Take a deep inhale, send your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Look at your hand. As you exhale, bring your hand underneath of you, palm faces up. As you bring your right shoulder down towards the mat. Uh-oh. You can even shift your hips towards your right heel. And you can bend your left elbow and reach towards your hip crease. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, feel free to bring that left hand palm back down towards the floor or even walk your left hand out in front of you. Just find what feels good today and then relax right here into your stretch. Use your exhale to sink those hips a little bit deeper towards your right heel. One more full cycle of breath. And on your exhale, find your left hand palm back on the floor by your shoulder. Ground it into the floor, push into it. As you come out, you're gonna send your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow hand again. Big opening of the chest and twist. And exhale, right hand comes back down towards the mat. Ground that right hand down on your mat. Spread those fingertips wide like a starfish. And inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow hand. Press your right hand into the floor. As you exhale, your hand palm comes under your chest. Palm faces up as you shift and place your left shoulder, left ear, left temple on the mat. And you can keep your right hand down on the floor right here. Or you can send it up towards the ceiling. And take a little half bind here, reaching towards your left hip crease. Or remember, you could have walked it out in front of you. I'm gonna go for a little walking it out in front of me just to get a little bit more into my shoulders, into my back and sides. Fred's also a big fan of me walking my arm out in front of me. Go ahead, take another deep inhale. Get your hand back to the floor, ground it down. Inhale, press into that hand palm. Release your left hand from underneath of you. Stretch it all the way towards the ceiling. And exhale, release your left hand back down towards the mat. Yay, let's take another moment, really just relaxing. It's a Friday. Send your hips back into child's pose. I'm just gonna pull my pants up as much as possible. You know, yoga life problems. Option for a wide or a closed-legged child's pose, whatever feels good for you. Just one more deep opportunity for stretching those shoulders. So feel free to walk your fingers as far in front of you as feels good today. Maybe even a little combo of child's pose and melting heart or puppy pose by stretching your chin onto the mat, feeling more of a stretch between those shoulder blades. Or option to keep that chin tucked towards your chest and just keep the stretch happening in those shoulders. So good. All right, press yourself back up. Walk your hands back in front of you. We're gonna do bird dog once again, but we're gonna add a little bit deeper of a twist here. So spread your fingers wide like starfish, press into those hands palms, activate that upper back. Suck that stomach in. Let's start by keeping our right knee and our left hand down on the floor. So you're gonna send your left leg out in front of you, and you're gonna extend your right arm in front of you. Go ahead, bend your left knee. Point that toe up towards the ceiling and reach back with your right hand. Do the best that you can to just grab hold of your foot. Really press into your left hand palm. Maybe you're just reaching for the foot. The first time I did this, I spent 5 minutes just laughing, just doing my best to reach towards the foot. If you've got it, point those toes up towards the ceiling. Just a variation on a nice bow pose right here. Turning that chin towards your right shoulder. Take one more deep inhale. On your exhale, gently release. Extend the leg back in front of you. Extend arm in front of you. We're going to do a couple crunches right here. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, elbow and knee touch, crunch. Inhale, send it back out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. 2 more. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Last one. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Good work. Release that right hand, left knee down on the mat. Oh, Fred, give yourself a couple cat-cows right here. Fred, like most of us, is totally bored with her food. Unlike most of us, she is like big time wasting it. Uncool. Go ahead, change the direction of your cat-cow. All the babies are super chatty this week, and I guess Fred's a big baby too. Let's go ahead and get the opposite side. So starting off in just your bird dog, this time send your right leg out behind you. You're really squeezing your glute. Your leg is locked, which means that you're just engaging your thigh and pointing through your toe as you send that left hand out in front of you as well. Keep your eyes down on the floor to begin with. Just find as much length as you possibly can. Press into your hand palm. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other. Suck your stomach in. You are engaged. Then go ahead, bend that right leg. Reach back with your left hand. See if you can find your foot. Try not to shift your weight too much into just your knee or just your hand. A nice equal weight. Pointing those toes up towards the ceiling, lifting those toes up towards the ceiling, opening your chest. Make sure you didn't sink into your hand palm, into your shoulders. No earrings. Keep that core contracted. Turn, look over your left shoulder if you want. For 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Gently release. Extend your leg. Extend your arm. We got 5 crunches. You're worth it. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Find that length right here as you inhale and extend. 2 more. Exhale, crunch. Make sure those shoulders don't creep up towards your ears. Active back, active belly. Last 2. Final 1. Nice work. Release that hand and knee to the floor. One more time, give yourself some cat-cows. Yay. Let's give ourselves a nice quick little hip opener here on the floor. Then we're gonna stand up, we're gonna get a little more into those shoulders. Okay, so however you want to work your right foot forward, send that right foot forward. You're working to stack your knee on top of your ankle. So notice as you shift your weight forward, if your knee went past your toes, and if it did, wiggle those toes out a little bit further. If the floor feels really far away from you, feel free to use a block or a pillow. If you need to, you can also bring your hand up towards your thigh. Little less deep of a stretch than when you're hinging forward right here. Find what feels good for you today. Notice if your right hip is coming forward a lot, you really want to send that right hip back to get your two hips in one line. I'm pulling my shoulders away from my ears. I'm also trying to find some length from the crown of my head. So I'm making a beautiful long line as long as I can from my right knee through my left knee down on the floor. And then I'm also trying to make a beautiful long line from my hips through my shoulders through my head. Take a little reverse split. So walk your fingertips back towards your knee as you start to straighten your leg. Notice again if you're shifting your weight. You want to equally bring that weight back. And you can keep your right big toe down on the floor, or to feel more of a stretch on the back of your legs, start to flex those toes back towards your face. Option to really find a nice stretch in that lower back, tucking that chin, rounding down. You can work to bring your forehead to your knee. Notice if you shifted the weight all the way over onto that left knee though, and bring that right glute back out. What a stretch. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. And slowly, gently change, lifting your chin away from your chest, picking yourself up, placing your toe back down towards the mat. Walk yourself forward one more time. Coming into your nice big hip opener. Sending that right hip back, left hip forward. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Suck your stomach in. Keeping that core contracted. Finding that abdominal stability is going to help you find that spinal stability as well. Nice. And change. Get that right leg back in, however feels good for you. And then bring that left leg forward. Once again, take the time to truly set yourself up in this posture. So you bring your leg forward and then you actively shift your hips forward. And then you notice what's happening with your knee. Is your knee on top of your ankle or a knee on top of the arch of your foot? If so, great. If your knee is still all the way back here, you want to bring your foot a little bit further back and shift those hips forward. And if your knee is past your toe, then make sure that you wiggle those toes out a little bit further. Option to stay up with your hand on your thigh or reaching down towards the floor. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Pull your belly in nice and tight again. We're going to do a teeny standing flow in just a second. Just warming up everything right now that we're going to need for it. Begin to walk those fingertips back towards your right knee. Remember, you can keep that left big toe down on the floor. If it peels up already, that's fine. Remember, it's yoga practice, it's not perfect. Notice if you shift the weight all the way over towards that right knee or past it, and center yourself back towards the mat. So your right glute is on top of your right calf, and your left glute is on top of nothing. You can start to flex those toes back towards your face. The more that you really do shift the weight towards the left so that you don't have your left glute on top of your right heel, the more you're going to feel it in the back of your leg. So if that is super uncomfortable for you and you need to be shifted a little bit more today, that's okay. Just, find that intention. Now you can feel free to tuck that chin towards the chest, maybe even bringing your forehead to touch on your knee. And if you can't today, maybe you can tomorrow. Flexibility is learned. Also, some people are hypermobile. I'm a little hypermobile, but those people have to be even more careful.
Yoga is so great for not just building flexibility, but for building that strength, for building that mindfulness, for really creating an intention. Go ahead, bring your chin away from your chest. Start to bring those big toes back down towards the mat. Walk your hands forward one more time here in our hip opener. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Create as long and straight of lines as you possibly can. And feel free to use a prop if that's what it takes. Props are awesome. If you can, you must. Cool. Lift yourself up. Oh, bring that left foot back in. We're going to go ahead right here from tabletop, tuck our toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling, and just walk them in behind your hands, palms. Or walk your fingertips back towards your toes. Feel free to take this generous bend in your knee. Generous bend in your knee, but you're equally grounding your feet into the floor. Heels, big toe, pinky right now are all down towards the mat. Keeping your chin away from your chest to create a little bit more length in your spine. As your chin tucks towards your chest, it creates a lot of rounding. So do your best to start to eliminate room for lighter air between your upper and lower body. That's why I have my stomach sandwiched on my thighs. And my chest is coming towards my thighs. You can walk your hands in closer. You can even grab hold behind your legs. You can grab hold by your heels just to gently melt yourself down. We're going to take a couple moments right here in this melt to bring more weight towards our toes. To send your hips up towards the ceiling. Find that big stretch on the back of your legs. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Stretch from your hairline down towards the floor. Maybe you can even touch your forehead on your shins, but make sure you're not bringing that chin towards your chest, chin away from your chest, stomach sucked in, nice flat back, or as flat as you can be today. Change slowly, gently roll yourself up. As slow as you can go, keep those heels grounded into the floor. Stacking yourself one vertebrae at a time, just relax those shoulders down away from your ears. Stack your ears on top of your shoulders. Taking a moment right here in mountain pose. Yay, we're gonna open our shoulders once more before we go for a teeny little flow. Oh, you can't see all of me, I forgot. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Come closer towards your hips this time. 1 more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe you just interlace your fingers gently. Maybe you can even bring your hands, palms together, finding a nice stretch of your shoulders right here. Stretch the back of your knuckles down towards the floor, opening of the chest. Ground your feet into the floor, heels, big toes, pinkies. Suck your stomach in, squeeze your glutes, hips come forward. You can even stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your chin back towards your chest. We're just going to hinge forward. Keep those fingers interlaced, stomach sucked in. One more deep inhale. Exhale, relax those fingers down towards the floor. Here comes our little flow. So go ahead, bend your knees. Send your arms back behind you in skier pose. Weight stays in your heels right now. Hips shift towards the back of the mat. Inhale, arms forward, coming into chair pose. On your next exhale, bring your hands to heart center and bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Stack your hands, palms together. Ooh, stack those elbows together. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Keep the weight in your heels. Go ahead, take a nice deep inhale. Bring your hands to your chest. Lift yourself up. Stand back up into mountain pose. Lift your right leg up, taking a moment here in balance. Go ahead, send your right leg behind you. Careful what's behind you. Balancing stick. Bringing your chest and abdomen down towards the floor. Shoulders pull away from your ears. Inhale, back up into mountain pose with your right leg lifted. One more deep inhale as you exhale, cross your right knee over your left leg, sit your hips back down into the chair. For a nice figure four stretch, pull those shoulders away from your ears, keep the weight in your heels, suck your stomach in. Take a deep inhale, lift yourself up once more into a one-legged mountain. Exhale, release your right foot down towards the floor. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Suck your stomach in. Exhale, rain down towards the floor one more time. Feel free to bend one knee and then the other. Just stretch it up for a second right here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So heels, toes close together, maybe even side by side. Go ahead, bend your knees as much as you need to. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Reach your hands back behind you. Hands, thumbs facing the floor, hands by your hips as you come into skier pose. Just gonna fix my pants real fast. Skier pose, yay! Then go ahead, bring your hands forward. What do we do next? We'll take a moment in chair pose, just stretching those hands, palms forward. Take a deep inhale, weight in your heels. Exhale, bring your hands to the center of your chest for a little twist. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. Bring the weight back into your heels. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Stack your hands, palms. Stack your elbows. Stack your shoulders. Find that length. Take one more deep inhale. And exhale, just stand, come forward and stand up. Taking a moment here, both feet ground on the floor for mountain pose. Whoa. Inhale, lift that left leg up, one-legged mountain. Exhale, send your left leg behind you. Balancing stick. Coming into, it's the TV. Coming into as straight of a line as you can be in today. On your next exhale, coming back into mountain. Exhale, cross your right leg over that left knee, sitting your hips back down into your figure four. Really make sure that you're keeping the weight in your heel. Don't let that knee come super forward up your toe. Pull those shoulders away, from your ears. Inhale, come back into mountain. This time send your arms up towards the ceiling. Fingertips stretch up. Exhale, release your left leg down towards the floor. Fingers still stretch up towards the ceiling, suck your stomach in. Exhale, rain your fingers down towards the floor. One more time, bend one knee and then the other. It's getting that movement in your hips. Go ahead, bring your knees down towards the mat. Shift your hips over to the right. We're gonna turn around and lay down on our backs. Awesome work today, you guys. Slowly lower yourself down on the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Find one spot on the ceiling above you to focus your eyes. Stretch your arms out to the side. Go ahead, bend your right leg up. Sole of the right foot on the floor. Keep that left leg straight. You might need to shift your hips over to the right side of your mat a little bit as you drop your right knee over the left side of your body for a nice spine twist. The more you bring that knee up towards your left hand palm, the more you're gonna really feel that stretch all throughout your back. Use your exhale to relax your right shoulder back down towards the mat as much as you can. And it's okay if you don't wanna have your right knee all the way by your left hand. Every day is different. Every day your body is different. And you just gotta do what feels good for your body today. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Just taking this time to honor yourself, your breath. And release. Slowly, gently roll onto your back. Kick that right leg out in front of you. Bend your left leg up, maybe shifting your hips to the left side of your mat as you drop your left knee over the right side of your body. Just finding wherever that knee feels good today. And when you're ready, turning your chin towards the left shoulder. Exhale, relax into your twist. Work to bring your left shoulder a little closer towards the mat. Work to drop that left knee closer towards the mat as well. Really working to elongate your exhale. And on your next exhale, slowly, gently roll yourself onto your back. Go ahead, send those legs out as we take a couple of moments, a couple breaths right here in our final Savasana. Feel free to open your arms as wide as you want, open your legs as wide as you want. You can even bend your knees if you need to. Maybe bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly as we commit to 2 minutes right here in our final Savasana, whatever feels good for you today. Be as committed to this Savasana as you were to every other posture we've gotten to do today. So come into the stillness, the focus, the breath. Feel free to close your eyes, and if you're lucky, maybe even fall asleep for a minute. Relaxing your eyes and your eyebrows, taking the tension out of your jaw and your neck. Releasing your shoulders and your chest. Relaxing your belly and your back. Taking the tension out of your glutes, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins, your ankles, your toes. Inhaling in light and energy. And exhaling out tension and stress. Inhaling in positivity. And exhaling out negative thoughts. Remembering that this breath can be with you wherever you are throughout the day, whether you're on your mat or just walking around. You have the power to set an intention for yourself. And while you can't control anyone else, you are the master of you. And I know that you, like me, have the power to do anything that you put your mind to. Beautiful stillness, everyone. Take a minute, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wake your body up. Either drawing your knees in towards your chest and rocking yourself up like a gentle ball, or rolling over onto your side and pressing yourself up to a seated position. Let's all take a moment to honor ourselves, to honor each other, and finish this class together. Go ahead, bring your hands palms to the center of your chest with your thumbs touching on your sternum. Press into those hands palms. Open your chest, open your shoulders, open your mind. Tuck your chin to your chest and take this moment to honor yourself for all the amazing energy that you created